Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going over my final Oscar winner predictions. Now, in a perfect world, I would have loved to have gotten this video out a couple days earlier, but then, I kind of think about it, and technically for the last 3-4 weeks, I've been giving you my Oscar predictions just over the course of multiple videos in my category breakdown series, and this year, not a whole lot has really changed, if anything. Has changed, like, at the top of any of my predictions from those videos, so technically my predictions have already been out there for a couple weeks, but let's get it all into one concise, easy to view video here. So what we're going to do in this, because of the category breakdown series where I've gone into so much depth over every single category, because of that, I'm not going to go into really any depth here. We're just going to breeze through these categories. If there's something worth talking about, we'll talk about it in each category, but if it's a pretty easy consensus winner, we'll just kind of say the winner, move on. And then also what I'm going to do is at the start of each category, I'll put up on the screen what my predictions were at the end of my category breakdown video for each of those episodes, and then we'll just kind of briefly talk about if anything changes and the positioning and jockeying. They're all going to be positioned from 1 to 5, from most to least likely, expected to win the Oscar. Right, so let's jump into it. Best Picture. In the breakdown video, I had One Battle After Another, Sinners, Hamnet, Sentimental Secret, and it doesn't really matter from there. It was all it's a two-horse race between One Battle After Another and Sinners. I just uploaded that video today, a couple hours ago, and so there's not going to be any deviation here. It's just going to stay the same 10 in that order. It really comes down to One Battle After Another or Sinners, and we'll talk about Sinners kind of going forward. I still think that there's a chance that this could happen, but I'm not going to predict it, and I'm just going to be completely surprised and amazed if it does pull off the win for Best Picture. For Best Director, in the breakdown video, I went with, my order was Paul Thomas Anderson, Ryan Coogler, Joachim Trier, Chloe Zhao, Josh Safdie. I still am holding out, Paul Thomas Anderson's going to win, even with the Sinners surge. Even if Sinners does win Picture, I don't think it's winning Director. I think Paul Thomas Anderson essentially has that locked up. The only thing I am going to switch is I think Chloe Zhao, maybe because I have Hamnet higher than Sentimental Value, and it feels like Sentimental Value has been kind of falling for the past couple of weeks. It just doesn't seem like it has the momentum, and so I'm going to flip those. Chloe Zhao higher than Joachim Trier, but for the most part, no real big change. For Best Actress, there's absolutely no change. It's Jessie Buckley, Rose Byrne, Emma Stone, Renata Reinsfeld, Kate Hudson was the order, and that's going to be the same order. It's Jessie Buckley's Oscar. For Best Actor, this is an interesting category that we can discuss. In the breakdown video, I went Michael B. Jordan, Timothée Chalamet, Wagner Moura, Leonardo DiCaprio, Ethan Hawke. My final prediction, I'm going to stay with that exact same order, but it's one of those that this is an up-in-the-air category. It kind of scares me, like, when I made the decision in my head to switch to Michael B. Jordan, obviously I didn't put it out there, it's not like on video or, like, it's like before the SAG order or anything, so it's like, but that was kind of when I was like, I'm going to make the switch, and I'm going to be the one that goes out on a limb. I'm going to be the brave one that goes to Michael B. Jordan, and it kind of scares me that it's 90% of people have just gone to Michael B. Jordan. Like, that's not this amazing, bold prediction anymore. Everyone is doing it. So the bold thing would be to stick with Timothée Chalamet, or pick a Wagner Moura or a Leo for that case. I do think that, again, Timmy is, like, if I were to break this category down, I think Michael B. Jordan maybe has like a 50% chance, and then like Timmy has like a 35 or something like that. Like, it's still a really good chance. It's a good chunk of possibility of winning, so I wouldn't be shocked if someone other than Michael B. Jordan wins. And the thing is, even then when you go down to Wagner Moura and Leo, I think they're both probably, maybe Wagner Moura has a 10% and Leo has a 5% chance. I kind of did that math really quick. I hope that equaled 100. So I could see those guys like pulling off a crazy upset here, but I think the safe play is Michael B. Jordan, and it does seem like that's where everyone's gone, so that's what we're going with the final prediction. For Best Supporting Actress, in my breakdown video, I went Wunmi Mosaku, Amy Madigan, Teyana Taylor, Inge Ebsdottir-Liljeus, and Elle Fanning in order. I think Amy Madigan is going to win. She is the heavy frontrunner. She is the kind of has the momentum. She has the narrative. There's all these things going for it. I think people want to see Amy Madigan win the Oscar. However, this is, for me, the category that I think if Sinners does kind of have that upset, if it pulls off something crazy in Picture, this is the category I think it gets that indicates. I guess both of the supporting acting categories, but this one feels more attainable to me. If Wunmi Mosaku wins, then I think Sinners is probably winning Picture, or it's at least, now it's a 50-50 toss-up between One Battle and Sinners. So, the other thing with this category is, this year, it is so locked, and if you're playing the game, like, where you're trying to just get the most correct, go with Amy Madigan. But this year, it feels too chalk to me, where everyone has consensus kind of come to the same, like, predictions, and maybe there's one category here and there where everyone's deviating. And so this is going to be the one category I will deviate. I'm sticking with Wumi Masaku for my prediction, even though, like I just said, I think Amy Madigan's winning. It makes all the sense in the world. But for me, I'm not too worried about, like, getting 100%, like, because, I think this year, again, with how predictable it is, even if you get 100%, you're going to be one of, like, so many people that get 100% on your predictions, and maybe not even 100% because the shorts are going to throw people off, I'm sure. But I think that if you're trying to just play that game, obviously going Madigan, I kind of want to have the no guts, no glory. I want it to, if Wumi Masaku ends up winning, I want to be able to say, you know what, like, I called that, I predicted it, and it came true. Especially because I think Wumi Masaku has a great chance, and I see no one really predicting her. I think Teyana Taylor has more predictions than her, as opposed, than Amy Madigan. So it's for me, it's kind of a no guts, no glory thing. And also the way I look at it is, I think if Amy Madigan wins here, I feel pretty good that One Battle After Another is winning picture. And so between this and picture, I think I'm going 1 for 2 regardless. Because if Wumi wins here, Sinners maybe wins picture. And so again, either way, I think this is the two categories. I'm going 1 for 2 in these by kind of splitting them like this. I just want the no guts, no glory. I want, if Wumi Masaku wins, I want to be able to say that I predicted it, and I was predicting it the whole time, essentially since my category breakdown video. So that's what I'm sticking with. This is the one category that I'm kind of deviating a little bit, even though I do think it's going to be Amy Madigan. Putting that on the record a million times because I feel like it's going to happen. I just want the glory if it's Wunmi. So that's what we're going there. Best Supporting Actor: Sean Penn, Stellan Skarsgård, Jacob Elordi, Delroy Lindo, Benicio del Toro is my order. I'm still sticking with Sean Penn, but I am bumping Delroy Lindo above Jacob Elordi. I was dismissive of Delroy Lindo, but since in the last week listening to other people, the Next Best Picture podcast, or the Oscar expert, Austin Burke, there's a lot of different these channels that I listen to, and hearing the way that they've been talking about Delroy Lindo kind of makes me think that there could be something there. I just don't see it happening, but I'm going to move him up a little bit to the third spot. I don't know if I could ever move him above Stellan Skarsgård, although maybe he is above Stellan. But I think I'm still comfortable in picking Sean Penn. The BAFTA SAG combo is just too dominant. I think he's going to win. Best Original Screenplay, both these screenplay categories are locked. I went Sinners, Sentimental Value was just an accident. Marty Supreme, Blue Moon in my breakdown video. I'm still sticking with Sinners, obviously, but I am going to put Blue Moon above Marty Supreme. Marty Supreme's another one that I think is kind of falling a little bit. Like, if it can't get Timmy the win, an actor, it's not winning anything else, and so it kind of just feels like it's kind of falling in some categories. So I did move Blue Moon up from 5th to 4th, although it doesn't really matter because they're not going to win. Best Adapted Screenplay, I went One Battle, Hamnet, Begonia, Train Dreams, Frankenstein in the prediction video, and in my category breakdown video, and I'm sticking with that exact same prediction here, so we're going One Battle After Another. International Feature, I went Sentimental Value, Secret Agent, It Was Just an Accident, Sarat in the voice of Henry Jab. I am so tempted. I'm still so tempted. This might be one that I might change after this final prediction video, because I think I've already kind of reached out with Wound Me. I've already kind of made the one Hail Mary. Not that I don't even think The Secret Agent is much of a Hail Mary. I think it is a very strong contender. But I still think I'm just going to stick with Sentimental Value as my prediction. Again, this might be one that I might change the last second right before the ceremony. But I think for now I'm sticking with Sentimental Value in International Feature. It's the one to me that just kind of it's my favorite of the category, and it just kind of feels the one that is going to win. Although I can't deny everything that The Secret Agent has going for it. Animated feature, this one's super easy. K-pop Zootopia 2, Little Lamalier, the character Rain, Arco, Elio. That was my order in the breakdown video, and I'm sticking with K-pop Demon Hunters. Zootopia 2 is the only one that I think kind of really has a chance, but its only precursor win was at an award at BAFTA where K-pop Demon Hunters was ineligible, so it's kind of hard to really kind of give it the credit there. So I'm sticking with K-pop Demon Hunters in animated feature, although I would love if Little Amelie or the character of Rain could pull that off. Documentary feature, this is another kind of toss-up. In my breakdown video, I went The Perfect Neighbor, Mr. Nobody Against Putin, Alabama Solution, Come See Me in the Good Light, and Cutting Through Rocks, which Cutting Through Rocks is still, it's going to be my only miss this year because it doesn't have distribution. I guess I haven't checked today if it randomly is showing up somewhere. But it's the only one I haven't seen, so I'm just kind of putting it in 5th, just solely because I don't know how to judge it. For my prediction, I'm sticking with the exact same order. The documentary was a video that category breakdown video I just uploaded a couple days ago, so hasn't been a whole lot of time for anything to really change. The discussion, the debate is between The Perfect Neighbor and Mr. Nobody against Putin. I do think that is kind of like a 50-50 toss-up, but I'm just going to go with Netflix. I'm going to go with The Perfect Neighbor. It just feels like maybe it was a bigger scene or has a wider range of people kind of like looking for it. Mr. Nobody Against Putin, it does have the factor of the Ukraine-Russia conflict, and obviously there's been a lot of support for those type of documentaries over the last several years. I've seen some people make that prediction. I'm gonna stick with The Perfect Neighbor because it feels like the front runner. I wouldn't be shocked if it does win. I just don't have the guts to predict it. Best casting. In the breakdown video, I went Sinners, One Battle After Another, Marty Supreme, The Secret Agent, and Hamnet. This is one of the categories, I'm not changing anything, that's my final prediction as well, in that exact order, but at the same time, it's the one that, just because we don't know what this category is, so it's like, it's hard to, like, say what's gonna win. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if Sinners loses this, but it would kind of suck for its, like, the best picture chance, like, if you're trying to make that case, if it's losing the categories that we've all kind of penciled in. But I am nervous the fact that we all just penciled Sinners as the best casting winner for months, when we just don't know how to like really gauge it. And I think we've all kind of like hive mind like chose this together as a community, and we just stuck with it. But it's like there's no real great example, I guess, other than it winning at the SAG Ensemble at the Actor Award. But it's like it's slightly different because that's an ensemble award. This is casting, which is different. Like the whole verbiage of it is just kind of weird. So we really need this year to kind of let us know how the Academy is going to vote for this going forward. But for now, I'm just going to stick with Sinners on that. Best editing, I went with One Battle, F1, Marty Supreme, Sinners, and Sentimental Value in my breakdown video. I am going to make one little switch here. I'm sticking with One Battle After Another, but Sinners is going to leapfrog over Marty Supreme. Again, it's the same thing where I think Sinners, the trajectory is going up, Marty Supreme, the trajectory is kind of going down, and so it's one of those that I think they're just going to kind of cross here. It just feels better. Like Sinners feels like it would be more... I wouldn't be as shocked if that wins as opposed to Marty Supreme in editing, although I love the editing style in Marty Supreme with the frenetic energy and stuff, but that's going to be the one little switch we're going to make there. Best cinematography, I went One Battle, Train Dreams, Sinners, Frankenstein, Marty Supreme as my prediction in the breakdown video, and we are, for the most part, it's going to be the same, but it's the same thing. I'm going to put Sinners one above Train Dreams. I think I had Train Dreams at number 2 just because it's my favorite cinematography of the year. It's such a beautiful film to look at. But Sinners does seem like it would be the more likely winner because of some of the precursors it has. Train Dreams didn't really kind of catch the momentum, although all of it is kind of a moot point because One Battle After Another is the one that did catch all the momentum and kind of ran away with the category. So I'm sticking with One Battle After Another as the winner, but I do think Sinners is now kind of the runner-up in the category. Best Production Design. In my breakdown video, I went Frankenstein, Sinners, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another. Final prediction is going to be the exact same. I'm going to put One Battle After Another. I'm going to move that up above Marty Supreme. Same thing I've been talking about. I think Marty Supreme's trajectory is going down. One Battle After Another is obviously Best Picture frontrunner, so it makes sense in my mind that more people would probably vote for it over Marty Supreme in something like Production Design. Best Costume Design, we have Frankenstein, Sinners, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, Avatar, Fire and Ash in the breakdown video. And this, I'm going to stick with the exact same order. Frankenstein, we've reached the Frankenstein part, if you can't tell yet, of the evening with all of the technical categories. This is where it's going to kind of sweep up, and I don't see anything really contending against it in the 3 categories that it's been dominating, so I'm continuing with Frankenstein here. We move on to that 3rd category for Frankenstein, Best Makeup and Hairstyling. In the video, I went Frankenstein, Sinners, The Smashing Machine, Kwoku, and The Ugly Stepsister. The only switch here, Frankenstein's still on top. I am going to move The Ugly Stepsister above Kwoku. I've heard a lot of people, the goodwill, the vibes, the buzz kind of around The Ugly Stepsister seems more positive. I haven't really heard anyone talk about Kwoku. So even though I preferred Kwoku's makeup over The Ugly Stepsister, I think I'm just going to swap those. But again, they're at 4 or 5 in the category. It's not going to make a big difference. For Best Visual Effects, in my breakdown video, I went Avatar, Fire and Ash, F1, The Lost Bus, Sinners, Jurassic World Rebirth. The only switch I'm sticking here, I'm still sticking with Avatar, Fire and Ash, and F1 is the runner-up. But Sinners and The Lost Bus, I'm going to swap them, because it's the same thing. I think The Lost Bus, it's fun that it got the nomination. I don't know if it's going to have any more momentum to get more votes than Sinners. Like, even if you think the visual effects design work is better in The Lost Bus than as opposed to Sinners. I do just think Sinners is going to get more votes. It's the name that's just going to get checked off, I think, on a lot of ballots. So I am making that switch. Best sound design, I went F1, Sinners, One Battle, Seurat, and Frankenstein in my breakdown video. And we are sticking with the exact same because sound design is also another one I just uploaded like yesterday. So nothing's really changed in the day in my mind. I still think F1's the clear winner. I would love to see Seurat because that was my favorite in the category, but I have a hard time seeing it get more votes than Best Picture frontrunners in Sinners and One Battle After Another. So we're just sticking with the exact same order. Best score, in the breakdown video I went Sinners, One Battle After Another, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Begonia. We're still sticking with the top three kind of in order, so Sinners is the winner, but I am going to flip Begonia and Hamnet. I think Hamnet is another one that outside of Jessie Buckley, it feels like it's kind of fallen in a lot of categories. And I've heard specifically about the score, a lot of people kind of have complaints. I haven't heard complaints about Begonia's score, and so it's one of those that I feel like maybe that would be something that would be more likely, but again, it's the 4-5 switch, it doesn't really matter. Best original song, we're sticking with the exact same order. Golden, I Lied to You, Dear Me, Train Dreams, Sweet Dreams of Joy, that was my order in the breakdown video. We're sticking with it the exact same order. It's very clearly Golden versus I Lied to You, but Golden is just this phenomenon, just big song, so I think that's obviously the winner. I Lied to You, I think, deserves the win, and I hope it can pull off the Miracle Upset, and this is another one of those categories that I'm kind of looking at, side-eyeing a little bit, because if I Lied to You can pull off the win, I feel better about its chances at pulling off a crazy upset in picture, because it's just going to stack up random Oscars that it wasn't expecting to. That is also to say, that's if Sinners wins here and then continues to, like, if it just wins song and then loses everything else, that it's kind of like 50-50 on win. Like, I'm not going to say song is going to be the thing that breaks the straw that breaks the camel back, but for now, we're going with Golden over I Lied to You. Best animated short, the shorts, I have no idea, so I'm almost just kind of going with consensus, I think, with a lot of people. In the breakdown video, I went Butterfly, Forever Green, Girl Who Cried Pearls, Retirement Plan, and The Three Sisters. I'm sticking with that exact same order with Butterfly as the winner. I am a little nervous because it's not in English, but it is about World War II, has Nazis in it. Like, it's, to me, when I was watching it, it just felt like the one that was good. And plus, I think it's the most beautiful out of all of these. Because it's like painting style animation, I just think is beautiful. So even if people kind of are only half watching it, like, I think they can appreciate that it looks beautiful. I think Forever Green is the runner-up just because it's the cute animal movie. And so I'm just going to kind of keep it there in kind of like a threatening category, or a threatening range. But honestly, I could see Girl Who Cried Pearls and Retirement Plan, either of those winning as well. The shorts are always a crapshoot because, like, last year I think I had I'm Not a Robot in 4th or 5th in the live action short, and it ended up winning. So this is the category where, like, the 1 through 5 ranking actually kind of matters to show how big of a surprise it would be for me. But I still think anything other than The Three Sisters in theory could win. I just feel the best about Butterfly. Best live action short. So in the breakdown video, I went Two People Exchanging Saliva, The Singers, Butcher Stain, Jane Austen's period drama, and A Friend of Dorothy in 5th. I very clearly kind of misjudged the consensus, the opinion of A Friend of Dorothy. In my theater, it was kind of the one of the live action shorts that just didn't get a whole lot of kind of buzz or a whole lot of people talking about it, or, like, I shouldn't say talking about it, but just kind of like reaction of people cheering or clapping, or, like, it seemed like it was, people were just kind of like, okay, just kind of moved on. But since seeing other people's predictions and seeing people where they stand on this category, I've seen so much positive buzz for A Friend of Dorothy to where I'm moving it all the way up to number 2 in my prediction, because I've seen some people predicting it to win, not let alone just being a contender. I'm still sticking with Two People Exchanging Saliva as the winner, but then I'm going Friend of Dorothy and then sliding Singers, Butcher Stain, Jane Austen period drama all down a slot. And the final category, Best Documentary Short, I went with All the Empty Rooms, Armed Only with the Camera, The Life and Death of Brent Renault, The Devil is Busy, Children No More, Were and Are Gone, and Perfectly Estrangedness is the order in the breakdown video. And I'm sticking with the exact same order. I don't really have any reason to flip anything. I do think Armed Only with the Camera, The Life and Death of Brent Renault, I think is like a bigger contender than I think a lot of people. We've all just kind of dismissed it. We're like, oh, The Empty Rooms, like, that's going to win. I do think it's going to win, but I do think that Armed Only with the Camera is a strong runner-up and strong contender, so I won't be shocked if that pulls off the win. But that's it. That's all 24 categories. Now, let's just go over the final count, how many Oscars I'm predicting for everything. So for One Battle After Another, I'm predicting 6 Oscars: picture, director, supporting actor, adapted screenplay, cinematography, and editing. For Sinners, it's 5 Oscars: actor, supporting actress, original screenplay, casting, and score. For Frankenstein, it's 3 Oscars: production design, costume design, makeup, and hairstyling. For K-pop Demon Hunters, it's 2: animated feature and original song. Hamnet is 1, just actress. Sentimental Value is 1, international feature. The Perfect Neighbor is 1, documentary feature. Avatar Fire and Ash is 1, visual effects. F1 is 1, sound. All the Empty Rooms, 1, documentary short. Butterfly, 1, animated short. And Two People Exchanging Saliva, 1, live action short. That kind of seems crazy looking over like the final count there, because I only have 6 Best Picture nominees getting an Oscar, so I'm not predicting Train Dreams, Begonia, Secret Agent, or or Marty Supreme. That is the 4th one. So I'm not predicting any of those 4 to come away with a win. So it kind of seems crazy that many Best Picture nominees just come away winless, but that's the way it comes down to this year, where I think you have One Battle and Sinners kind of getting a ton of Oscars each, and then I think you have Frankenstein kind of sweeping up a lot of tech categories. So that's kind of where all the Oscars got divvied up to, was all of those categories. But that's it for the final prediction video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below in the comments what you're rooting for tonight, what's your no guts, no glory pick, how confident are you in your picks? Let me know all of that down below in the comments. And then if you'd like to like the video and then subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any other videos that I upload on my channel, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.